Okay, we got a few people in here. Hey, everyone, just kind of giving everyone a few minutes to kind of filter in to talk about everything that's going on with Netflix. Netflix is, let's see, what does the poll say right now? It's 50-50. The poll in the chat right now is 50-50. Will Netflix find a way to charge you for password sharing? One person says yes, the other person says no. So the big story that happened first this morning was that Netflix, in their quarterly, I guess, announcement, said that they lost subscribers for the first time in the last decade. Not only did they lose subscribers, they lost about 200,000 subscribers in the last 4 months, which, in a state of how things are going, with the streaming wars, you essentially have Netflix leading the pack, then you have Disney Plus, and then you have HBO Max. And before this announcement, Netflix was leading by a large margin, and they were doing very well because they had already really gained a base in the United States, and they're then pushing into Asia. That's kind of seen as who's going to win. Whoever ends up dominating the Asia market really is going to be the one that reaches a profit first, because none of these streaming services actually make any money right now. They have to spend everything that they make to stay competitive with the content that they put out. So Netflix has always been ahead. They're doing the best in terms of offering more in Asia. In India, they offer it for like $3. In, I think it's Kenya, they offer it for free. So they're doing everything they can to really establish the market more in the East. Disney doing a very good job in terms of building an audience in America. They're still really trying to get North America established. The problem that Disney Plus runs into is that so much of their content already has established audiences. So much of what they come out, Star Wars, Marvel, people are already established in those groups. Like, I am more of a Star Wars fan than a Marvel fan, but honestly, I'm not a fan of either of them to really pay money to get a subscription for Disney Plus. So for me, I see there's a new Marvel property coming out. There's new Star Wars property coming out. Me and everyone like me, we're not really going to go there because, yeah, if all the hype is for Star Wars and Marvel, it's like, okay, well, I know that. If you get like a House of Cards or a Mindhunter or an Orange is the New Black or an Ozark, something brand new that everyone's talking about, then yeah, you can go over there. But Disney hasn't really had that yet. The only thing they've really had is their live action remakes that they make you pay $30 for that. Disney Plus is doing well, but they're not doing as well as Netflix was doing. And HBO Max, in some respects, was kind of the most promising because the amount of growth they've been having is it's lower than HBO Max and Disney Plus. I'm sorry, it's lower than Netflix and Disney Plus, but it's grown so quickly that it's possible that as time goes on, they will actually pass them up. And HBO Max, between Netflix and Disney, I think HBO Max has proven that they can come out with something new, whether it's a TV show or a movie with Warner Brothers, and just get so much buzz that people will pay money to go over and become part of the HBO Max family. But today, Netflix, in their announcements, really announced two things that make it seem like I honestly thought Netflix was going to stay ahead. Seeing this news makes me wonder if that is actually going to stay the case. So this article from the Hollywood Reporter says that Netflix is preparing to crack down on password sharing around the world, with the company telling shareholders Tuesday that it is a big opportunity for the streaming giant to help turn around its fortunes. Now, they have tried to do this before. They announced a while back that they were going to try and do this same thing with password sharing. And look, I password share. There's some people, sorry, Netflix, if you're watching, I have some people that share with my account. My parents have an account that I know they have other people on as well. Everyone password shares. Paul Thomas Anderson said that he doesn't even have his own Netflix account that he pays for. He password shares with someone. Netflix said a while ago that what they were going to do, and this was maybe like 2019, Netflix said, okay, guys, here's the new plan. We are going to text you a code whenever you try to sign in. And that means when it's sent to your phone, you're then going to have to put in the code within 2 minutes. And that will then verify that you or someone in your house are the ones that are, on the plan. And, that lasted like 5 minutes because everyone in the comments was like, can I just like call the person? Like, what's the problem here? So obviously that didn't work out. So then that idea kind of died for a while. Netflix came out recently, though, it was maybe about 2 months ago. We covered it as a video on the channel that they're already doing it in places like Chile. They're doing it in another place in Europe. I don't quite remember, but I know that they're doing it in Chile for sure, where they are prompting people. They're saying, "Hey, I see that someone that is not close to you is using this account. Would you like to pay $2, the equivalent of $2, in order to add a person to your account?" You can say yes, or you can say no. So asking people to pay out of the kindness of your heart to a massive company like Netflix, I don't think that's going to happen. But the thing is, how are you going to do this? If Netflix ever finds a way to do it, my guess is no doubt they are going to do it. I think eventually they will find the technology to charge us for sharing passwords with other people. So then why is this happening? Why are they announcing this? It's saying the company reported a quarterly subscriber loss Tuesday, ending out the quarter one of 2022 with 221.64 million subscribers, which is down from 221.84 million in quarter four of 2021. So yeah, essentially in the last 5 months, Netflix has lost 200,000 accounts. 200,000 people have just left. And I think this is becoming, let me know if y'all do this. A lot of people seem to now, if HBO Max is putting out a lot of stuff, then they'll cancel Netflix for the time being, go and enjoy shows on another platform, and then they'll just move around their money from month to month, because who in the world wants to be paying for 4 streaming subscriptions? It's ridiculous. Like, until there's some way to bundle all subscriptions, it's not going to be worth it to have like 5 of them at once. So the article then goes on to say that in its shareholding letter, Netflix cited the large number of households sharing accounts as a critical factor creating revenue growth headwinds. Specifically, Netflix estimates that over 100 million households worldwide are using shared Netflix accounts, including more than 30 million in the US and Canada. Now, I think the question here would be, if they end up doing that, if they end up finding a way to successfully charge people, then are they going to lose more subscribers than they would gain? Obviously, the assumption here would be, if we start charging people, then they'll go ahead and just, choke up the money. They'll choke up the $14 to get their own Netflix account. It's just they can't live without Netflix. It's the assumption that they can't live without Netflix. So the thought is, maybe, okay, 100 million accounts, maybe a quarter of them then go and create their own accounts. We then boost up all of the money. If they could do that, if Netflix was able to figure out a way to do that, I almost feel like they would break even, because I feel like I don't think they're going to be able to figure out a way to actually get this done anytime soon. And I also think that if anything, reporting on this is just a way to get the stock to go up for Netflix. But the thing is, it's so impossible. Like, even the people that are relying on the stocks, like, everyone is sharing Netflix accounts. Like, everyone does that. I don't think it's going to be able to happen. And I think it's just a way to kind of give confidence to the investors. So then go, this is a big opportunity as these households are already watching Netflix and enjoying our service. Sharing likely helped fuel our growth by getting more people using and enjoying Netflix. And we've already tried to make sharing within a member's household easy with features like profiles and multiple streams. While these have been very popular, they've created confusion about when and how Netflix can be shared with households. Netflix began testing out potential password sharing efforts last year. And this March, the company rolled out a pilot program in, here it is, Costa Rica, Peru, and Chile that would let users add additional members outside of their household if the company ID'd that a password was being shared. See, that's a change in what they had announced they were doing before. Before, they said they were letting people opt into a payment plan if they wanted to kind of voluntarily say, yeah, we're sharing the password with someone. Then goes on to say, on Tuesday, the company left no doubt that the crackdown will expand in the near future. But the thing is, there's no way that they're giving us details as to how they're going to do this. I don't think it's even possible. There's a broad range of engagement when it comes to sharing households, from high to occasional viewing. So while we won't be able to monetize all of it right now, we believe it's a large, short to mid-term opportunity. Still, Netflix noted that account sharing as a percentage of our paying membership hasn't changed much over the years, but added that COVID-spurred subscribers pull forward obscured the impact that password sharing had on its business. I just don't really think, I'm sorry, I just don't think that they're going to really be able to do it. So some people are commenting here. Nyquillis, hey, how's it going, man? Selena Marie Abel says, I haven't paid for a Netflix subscription for the past 2 years, but I still have access to it when I want. Not sure if the problem is lack of new and original content. I definitely think that Netflix is losing some credibility in the content game. Netflix was, they paid billions and billions of dollars for their content. And it was kind of seen for a while. They put so much stuff out, so much like comfort food stuff out that hey, it's a fun time. Disney is still relatively new to the game. Hulu has never really put out a ton of very interesting stuff, and HBO Max is only just now really getting itself, up and running. But in the last 2 years, especially during COVID, Hulu has partnered with FX, giving them so much better content. HBO Max and Warner Brothers have gotten a lot better at kind of pushing forward what it is that they're really going to offer, and it's really high quality. Disney Plus, I feel like while they don't have the growth that Netflix does, that base is so. I mean, it's nostalgia or it's just pure kids content. So I feel like if you get a Disney subscription, you're not going to let it go. Netflix, they were here first, so obviously that's a huge amount of influence that they have in this game. But the shows that they have are they're about to lose Ozark. House of Cards was such a thud the way it ended because of the whole Kevin Spacey debacle. They get things occasionally like Squid Game and Bridgerton, which are huge, but I mean those are kind of flash in the pans. Those are enjoyable, but they have I feel like they have a quality problem. They don't end up coming out with the stuff that really feels like it's lasting for years and years at a time. Like Apple just came out with Severance. Like Severance was fantastic. Netflix has not come out with something, and look, it's not as addictive as Squid Game was. But while Squid Game is addictive, it doesn't feel like we're going to really be going back to that years and years and years later. Like in a pop culture sense, maybe iconically, we'll see visual representations of that show. But things like Severance, I feel like it really just hits at a deeper level when it comes to wanting to see a good story, a good mystery. And it's just there's something about Netflix that it's so reliable, which makes it's very convenient. So I think it'll stay around because of course it'll stay around because of that. But they do have a quality problem. And they've kept trying to get this Oscar for years and years and years, and now Apple just swooped in and got it. Like we'll see, but I things like this start happening. I feel like people are starting to realize that Netflix is not the only game in town, and I think maybe Netflix is going to have a bit of a regression. And like if they really push this password sharing, then people like Apple and Hulu and HBO Max that really want to push, they'll just do a PR play that says, "Hey, Netflix is going to charge you for adding people. We won't." Like they'll use that to boost their own subscribers. Like I don't think Netflix is serious about this. If they are serious about this, then I think that it's going to be worse for them if they actually try to implement it. And in terms of losing the subscribers, I think you're only in the long run going to get people with quality. And they put out good stuff every now and then, but I think they really need to invest in better quality. Another person says, I think it's fair to pay more so Netflix gets more money to make brilliant pieces of entertainment such as The Kissing Booth, Too Hot to Handle, and Cuties. Yeah, those reality shows look really cringe. What's the other one? Love is Blind. I see that thumbnail all the time, and it looks so ridiculous. See, the thing with like HBO Max in particular, that library goes back to the 30s, to like the 30s and the 40s. Like if you name anything really, and you're going to be able to find it on, I would say Amazon or HBO Max, which makes it so that yeah, every now and then you'll need to get a Netflix subscription because something big is going to come along. But in terms of really looking back at, the classics, if I want all the James Bond movies, I've got to go to Amazon now. If I want to go and see Charlie Chaplin movies, then I've got to go to HBO Max. And look, maybe you don't want to watch Charlie Chaplin movies, but you can go that far back if you actually want to watch things that are at that level of quality. Nyquilus says, if they want to boost subscribers, take the algorithm out that only shows you the same 20 to 30 movies and shows. That's a weird thing about Netflix because if you've got to spend about 30 minutes actively adding things to your list, and you'll find some really cool shit. Like the documentaries on there, I've found little known documentaries that are just the most insane pieces of work. I never heard of them before. They've got so much incredible content on there, but they hide it in this algorithm where it's like, how do I keep seeing 7? Why do I keep getting recommended 7 like after everything that I click on? I don't want to watch that. And there's no button to really say, stop showing me this. It doesn't feel like they're curating anything for you. Whereas even something like the Criterion Collection, which is literally made with a Vimeo account, that actually looks like they're curating what you want to see more than just kind of there's stuff that they want to push, and like it's just not it's it's not working in terms of the way people are actually wanting to watch things. Disney has the bundle with ESPN and Hulu that makes it completely worth it, and that's a great point. In the end, there's so much battling with sports, and I think who was it that just got? It was Apple TV just got a bunch of was it MLB? I think it was. They just put out a bunch of MLB games, and that type of thing is huge. Amazon has Thursday Night Football. That's huge. I mean, to not invest in that, and Netflix keeps saying that they want to go into gaming. I have no idea how that is going to work, but I don't think that uh, Netflix is going to see the growth that they saw over the last decade anymore. Because when people like Apple TV and Hulu start and YouTube TV even start bundling so many sport options in, people then are just going to look at what they're paying every month for everything, and Netflix isn't going to make it worth it. And if we keep even to float this out as an idea, I feel is bad for Netflix. Think of everyone that just saw this and think that right now they're about to be charged. People are going to get rid of their accounts. I don't think that this is helpful at all. Nyquillison says it's like AT&T or Verizon putting an age limit on cell phone plans. You have to take your kids off your family plan when they turn 23. Is that a thing? Is that really a thing? I'm not aware of how that works with the family plans. That's a little wild, though, if that's true. Yeah, it feels, I can't tell how much of this is real. The real thing, though, is that they're losing subscribers. And I think it is because they don't have the quality that HBO Max, that Disney, that even Hulu has now. Like FX has been killing it lately with their programming. Like if you haven't seen Devs, I know that's from 2020. Check that out. Like that one, that story is incredible. Even now, I find myself thinking about that show. That is a really, really incredible show. I know people like watching the American Crime Stories. Those are fantastic as well. And Netflix just every now and then they get this stuff. And that's the thing. Their algorithm is very much based on what it is that you're watching right now. And I think whenever that show Maniac came out with Emma Stone and Jonah Hill, the director said the amount of data they give you is so accurate whenever they tell you you are going to lose so many people on episode 2 after this scene, but the people that stick around are going to continue watching through the rest of the show. And because of the thing that happens in the last episode, you're going to get so much word of mouth that it's going to get everyone kind of like the amount of detailed information he got predicting how people would react. It was so detailed, and then it turned out to be correct. And I feel like Netflix, I don't know if it's true, but it feels like Netflix's stories play out like a Squid Game type thing, kind of like you are keeping me watching this so much. It is so addicting, but it doesn't at the end of it actually feel like I've watched something that's going to stick with me for years and years. I don't feel like I'm really going to go back and watch this again. It just feels like it's like fast food. It's like it feels so good while watching it. And yeah, some of it is better than others, but I feel like that kind of encapsulates Netflix more than it does the others. And I don't know. We'll see. Netflix might have just gotten to the game first, but I think this just shows there's a kink in the armor. It is not a foregone conclusion that Netflix is going to be the only game in town, and that they could lose in terms of that. And remember, streaming wars. None of these people make money. The first one that actually turns a profit is going to be the de facto streaming service, and yeah, even Netflix has not gotten there yet. So if you have not already, please subscribe to 5 Minute Critic. Thank you all for watching. And yeah, subscribe for future updates on reviews and movie news.